Hi there, crafty friends. It's Marie here again from Nicole Designs, and I'm showing the Spellbinders Small Die Club for March. And every month, if you subscribe to this, you get a set of dies, and this is the small die kit. So you get these little bunnies here, all these little spring images that you can cut out. You get this oval or egg-shaped frame that cuts out the frame as well as the inside pieces. You have these little sentiments here that says what's up, and then you have all of these little greenery pieces and flowers that you can layer on as well. So I saw that frame and I saw the little flowers and leaves, and I thought I have to make a wreath with this, a spring wreath. So that's what we're going to be doing today. I went ahead and used those dies to cut out all of these tiny pieces. And I cut out tons of these leaves, tons of these flowers, and I've cut out several different frames from different cardstocks. Just wanted to see which one I wanted to use. So I'm going to use the glitter stock for the inside, and I'm going to use some of this gold cardstock for the outside. I've also cut out several of these bunnies because they're so cute, and I'm going to add them to different projects. I've done a card here for this video, but at the end I'll have photos of little envelopes that I made, and I added those rabbits to it, so that was really cute as well. So stick around to see those photos at the end. But all I'm doing here is I've cut out this frame several times, and I've stacked them up together to make it a little bit thicker, and I've put that gold on top. Now that's some gold cardstock, and it's a little bit slippery. So when I put my glue on there, it's going to take a little bit longer to dry, so my leaves ended up kind of slipping around on me. But if you have a little pokey tool or something, you can kind of use that to wiggle them back into place and let that glue dry so that they can be exactly where you want them. And I'm just layering these on my frame. I'm kind of starting at the bottom of each side and then kind of tucking these leaves in behind each other, so it looks like a really full floral or green frame. So I'm just kind of trying to slip these behind each other, and you can see here they're really kind of slipping around on me, so I had to be careful. Now if this happens to you, you can always let the glue set for a few seconds to get tacky, and then put your leaves on. But I found that it wasn't too hard just to take my little tool here and move these pieces around and get them where I wanted them. My fingers didn't always quite work, but if you have a little tool like this, you can just kind of move things around. So I'm going on the sides, like I mentioned. I'm starting at the bottom of each side and working toward the top. And then once I had that done, I'm just going to add a few leaves here on the bottom to cover the bottom. And that's going to kind of build the framework for my wreath. You can see a little bit of that gold peeking out, but it's mostly covered with that greenery, and I think it's really fun, really fresh and pretty for spring. Now I had it all covered with those green leaves, so I'm going to go ahead and add some of these really tiny flowers in here. So I've die cut these from some pink and some blue, and I'm just using my tool here to place them on my wreath and kind of nestle them in between and behind those leaves. So you have some of these little spring flowers just blossoming on your wreath, and I put those on both sides. I'm using just a little dot of glue, adding my flower there, and just tucking them in so they're kind of peeking out from behind the greenery. Now if you wanted to, you could always ink blend those. You could cut it from watercolor paper and watercolor these. I just thought cutting it from colored cardstock was quick and easy, and I cut a ton of them at once, so I have leftovers that I can use on other cards that I would make in the future. So I'm adding some of these clear sequins now. I just needed to give it a little bit of shine. I'm putting some on the middle of each flower and tucked some in behind a few leaves. So here is my completed wreath. That glue is still a little bit dry, but it'll dry clear. I think this is so cute. I'm going to put this on a card, but you could also just create some of these and put them on a place setting. If you're doing an Easter dinner or something, give each person a little wreath on their plate. I think that would be really fun and pretty as well. So I'm going to add one of these bunnies here, and I'm using some foam adhesive from Fun Stamper's Journey. I've cut down a few of these squares to be smaller so I can add it behind this ears and behind his head. I'm trying not to put any behind his hands because you can actually pop those up and tuck something under his arms and make it look like he's holding something. So I didn't do it in the video, but before I took photos of my card, I did place a little egg in his hands, and the egg that I put in there is from the Glimmer kit for March as well. So I have a video on the March Glimmer kit, and I'm using a few of the pieces on my card today, like the sentiment and the egg. So the Glimmer kit and the March small die kit, they work together beautifully. They're both the same theme of eggs and bunnies. So if you subscribe to both of those kits, you're going to get two kits that really work together well. So here's my little bunny in his wreath frame. I think he's really cute. And I'm going to go ahead and build some of the other elements for my card. So I have a scrap paper here. This is just some blue scrap cardstock, and I'm going to stencil it with this polka dot stencil. To me, Easter and Easter eggs just scream polka dots and stripes and chevrons and all of those fun designs. So I'm going to get some polka dots going here, and I'm using a little bit of white pigment ink to ink blend on these dots, and that's going to give me a softer, more subtle pattern in the background, which is what I'm going for. I wanted something a little bit interesting, but nothing that's really going to pull your eye away too much from that beautiful wreath. So I'm just doing a little bit of ink blending here, pulled my stencil away to see how much I needed to do. I just decided to go ahead and ink blend the whole thing. I was thinking about doing just a partial ink blending, but I went ahead and did the whole thing. Now, you might want to tape your stencil down if you're stenciling, and that's recommended, but I don't always do it. I get a little bit lazy, but fortunately this stencil is easy enough to line up again that I didn't have any problems. So here are all the elements of my card. I'm going to go ahead and emboss this background with a Fun Stampers Journey embossing folder. This one is called Barn Wall, I believe, and it gives you that really awesome wood grain feel in the background, and this, I just love it. I was going to use that little craft piece that you see down there in the right hand corner, but I really like the white. I think it's more fresh and more spring-like, so I went with a white cardstock panel, but I really love this wood grain. I love this embossing folder. I think it embosses really well, and it's got some more texture going in my background without being too busy and pulling away from that bunny. So I'm adding all my elements with some liquid glue and some foam adhesive. I'm adding my sentiment here, which is a sentiment from the Glimmer kit for this month. I think it says Hello Spring, but I went ahead and I glimmered that with some of my hot press foil from the Glimmer machine from Spellbinders, and I'm just adding that right under our bunny. And that's gonna pretty much finish this card. I am going to add a little twine bow at the top and a few more little sequins around him, or her, whatever this bunny is. And then, like I mentioned, I did slip a little egg into his arms. So that's pretty much the card. Like I mentioned, I did add a few envelopes. I made a few spring themed envelopes that are perfect size for a gift card. If you wanted to stick a gift card in those envelopes and stick it into someone's Easter basket, that would be fun too. The envelopes that I made were from dies from the January Glimmer kit, so I love going back and pulling out all my previous dies and kits and just mix and matching them. I think it's so fun. So that is today's card and a few extra projects that you'll see in the photos coming up. I hope you enjoyed this video. I hope you enjoy a look at these kits. If you haven't already, please subscribe, like, comment, share, do all the things. I'll see you guys next time. Have a great day, everyone. Bye.